Welcome to another dreadful side quest where we dive into some of the world's strangest and darkest topics and or stories. My name is Vlad, and today we're going to be discussing some of the most controversial and annoying influencers of 2024, that's the one. We're gonna keep going. So if you're like me and you're a bum that does nothing all day except play video games and scroll on social media 24/7, you've probably come across a bunch of really bad influencers that you come to hate over time. I've come across a lot of those this year, and I cannot stand them whatsoever, so I thought today it would be a very good idea to just go over some of those. This will be a very opinionated video, so if you can't take somebody's opinion, shut up about it. Like, if you're gonna come at me over this video in the comments, even though I'm a small content creator, if this video does blow up, I'm probably not even gonna pay attention to you because that's how little of a shit I give. But this is gonna be an angry video, and my sensitive little brain gets angry very quickly, so I thought it would be a good idea to bring in some emotional support for me. So I decided to invite one of my very best friends, Kat, in today to record with me. She can hold my hand while I cry about stupid little young adults doing stupid little things. So without further ado, when I snap my fingers, one of my best friends, Kat, is gonna appear right next to me here on the couch. YouTube magic! This is Kat, y'all.
Hi, everybody.
She is a lot of fun, a very beloved person in my life. We go way back since high school. Middle school, I'm sorry, that's right, it was middle school. And I wouldn't want anybody else on this channel. We're both kind of unhinged in our own ways, so she's like the only person I'd feel comfortable doing this video with. She can rip on all of these influencers just as hard as I can, I promise, I promise.
High praise.
But without further ado, let's stop yapping and let's start looking at some of these influencers. Every time we finish going over one of these influencers, we will be putting their name on the board, whether they're controversial or annoying. And that's kind of the gist of what we're going to be doing today.
But there's also a special category, and that is reserved for some special people we're going to be discussing today.
That was weird. I'm not Buckle in, y'all, because the first influencers we're going to be talking about are the well-known ghost hunters Sam and Colby. I don't know why you did that, I just kind of followed along. So, like I mentioned before, Sam and Colby are paranormal investigators. They are known for going into abandoned and very haunted places and trying to look for evidence to share with their viewers. However, recently there's been a little bit of a downfall and a lot of people upset over some recent events that happened between the two of them and some other paranormal investigators that they have worked with.
They're the millennial vloggers that kind of parody Zach Bagans and that kind of content.
Yeah, Zach Bagans is not a very good man, and Sam and Colby actually look up to Zach Bagans. They have said that they love what he does and stuff along those lines. If you don't know what Zach Bagans has done, it's very bad. Basically, he got jealous of some of his friends for making their own paranormal TV show on the Discovery Channel and got them canceled straight over jealousy and basically ruined their entire career. That's who Sam and Colby look up to, for reference. But yeah, let's begin with what's going on with these guys. This first piece of information has to do with Cody and Satori, some other paranormal investigators who have alleged psychic abilities. Sam and Colby came in contact with these guys and decided to go to the Conjuring house with them, where they performed this ability that shocked everybody. So Cody and Satori are partnered with psychic abilities. It's said that when they hold hands and they recite each letter of the alphabet, whenever they hit a certain letter, they'll hear a tap allegedly made by a spirit. And every time they hear a tap, it's directly stopped on a letter, and it spells out a phrase or a word, and that's allegedly how they communicate with the spirits.
Can we have a name of one person to start?
Okay. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, L. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, A, B, L, I, B, A, B, L, I, B, B. More?
Libby?
Is there a last name? Okay. A, B, C, D.
So Sam and Colby came in and they did this method. Cody and Satori tricked them. They were actually debunked recently as fake, and they did something very terrible to Sam that I am very upset about. As much as I'm not a fan of Sam and Colby, what they did is very bad. It's downright inhumane. So Sam and Colby went in, Cody and Satori started doing their own little psychic ability with the little taps on each letter, spelling out a word. And it spelled out Sam's grandmother, who he loved very, very dearly. And they started talking to the spirit of Sam's grandma. Sam started crying.
Oh my god. Oh my god, who's gonna believe that?
He like straight up started like bawling. He couldn't believe he was talking to his dead grandma. Cody and Satori were like, yep, that's your grandma. She's here and she's saying hi. But they lied to Sam. He was devastated. Not devastated, but he was very happy to be talking to his grandma again, his deceased grandma, to the point where he started crying. Cody and Satori told him that it was his grandma. It was later discovered that Cody and Satori have been faking this entire act all along. I think that's disgusting. To lie to somebody about talking to their dead relatives.
Because you're so vulnerable in that moment.
You are so
when
vulnerable.
You are missing a deceased loved one that's no longer with you. You will cling on to those tiny moments like that.
Exactly, you will. And that must have meant the world to Sam at the moment. And to find out that it was just a bunch of bullshit, I can't even imagine the emotions going through this poor guy's body. And in the end, they were like, yep, this is real. Cody and Satori, they're real. So when Cody and Satori were debunked, that made everybody second guess Sam and Colby all over again. And it just kind of sent everybody into a whole spiral. And ever since then, that's about all the information that's out there at the moment about that whole thing that happened at the Conjuring house. There's not much more to it, but that's kind of what started a lot of this drama between them.
It just seems like unnecessary cruelty.
It is unnecessary cruelty. It's very unnecessary. And obviously, it's just a scam for views and stuff like that. There was people who were shocked that Cody and Satori were faking this. I hate to break it to you, but if it wasn't the most obvious thing in the world to you, maybe go to somewhere where they're like... But yeah, not much more information about that has been revealed. The other piece of information that has been revealed has to do with what I feel like is Colby being a little bit controlling towards Sam. I understand they're a duo, but Sam has recently been going out to go do a few explorations by himself. For example, this one video that I'm gonna pull up in a second has to do with Sam and Robert the doll, and it upset Colby a very great amount. Do you know who Robert the doll is?
No. I don't know anything about Sam and Colby.
Okay. Robert the doll is a very famous haunted doll. He's dressed up in a little sailor outfit and he's holding a little plush doll of a dog or a lion or something. And he has a very famous story behind him. He haunted this kid's family for a very long time. Then he got put into this museum that is in the Keys in Florida. Now the legend goes that you're not supposed to take a picture of Robert without his permission. And that's exactly what Sam decided to do one day, according to the video that I'm about to pull up.
Realize how dangerous this is? Because again, you took a picture of Robert.
Yeah, I want you to know I didn't involve you, and I made sure that like you said your apologies and sorries and stuff before I did it. I just think that genuinely this is like one of the coolest things, and this is a once in a life opportunity.
I get that, like it's cool for the video and stuff, but I don't understand why you're not telling me about when you go off and do these things.
I mean, well, truthfully, mainly just because of the Robert thing, I figured you'd say like no, but I feel like we did it safe and you did your apology and I made sure to like not involve you in that.
He went to go see Robert the doll. Apparently he took a picture of Robert the doll, but this upset Colby a lot. And Colby started to come at Sam, telling him that he was very upset that Sam's not telling him these things. He was like, oh, why didn't you tell me you're doing these things? Sam doesn't need to tell you shit. He's his own person, Colby. If he wants to go take a picture of Robert the damn doll, let him. Like, whatever. I get that you're afraid that Robert's gonna come after you, because the legend goes if you take a picture with him without his permission, you will be cursed and something very bad will happen to you. Newsflash, Sam did this a while ago and he's still fine, so Colby, you freaked for nothing.
Perpetuating the idea of being controlling of a friend like that is not okay.
It's not.
And from what I can remember, like, you know, I watched very little of their content a few years back. It was very different. It was very, like, loose and fun, like, you know, friends going out, having fun, like, you know, doing whatever they needed to do.
They used to just explore abandoned places, have a good old time, sneak into trampoline parks after they've closed and try to spend the night. You know, fun, goofy teenage stuff like that.
And unfortunately, that audience that watched them at that time, because that was, like, more than 5 years ago, has since grown up and, you know, probably doesn't want to watch that same kind of content. And so even if, like, this is fake, let's say, it's not okay to put out those messages, especially to an audience that's probably younger, that's going to be watching their content.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's healthy to be perpetuating the idea of, or glamorizing toxic friendships or relationships, because I don't know what's going on between them, but yeah, I don't think that that's fair. And I don't like how it seems that Sam tends to be the victim, because sometimes when you put on an act for so long, even if it's fake, you start to feel it.
You do start to feel it. And I think Sam and Colby are finally starting to feel it. And you know what? I admire what they do. What they do must take so much work, so much effort, even if they are faking a bit of evidence, which is another controversial thing that everybody's talking about, is if they're faking their evidence or not. They're feeling it right now. They're feeling the pain of it. And whether this is real or not, like, they're fine now. Nothing bad happened to them in the end. So it was all very pointless drama, you know? Say Kat went out to go take a picture of Robert the doll, and she came back and told me about it, I would be like, you sure you want to do that? Let's see if something happens. If something happens, then we'll make a big deal out of it. I'm not going to be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You can't go places without my authorization.
It's old man shakes fist at sky meme.
So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on between Sam and Colby at the minute. There's a bit more, but we have to get through the rest of the video. There's a lot more to Sam and Colby than just that's going on. That's kind of like the core of where it's all started, though. And it's just escalated to a whole nother realm since then. They're on a really weird track. I actually have a few Reddit threads I can read through very quickly to give you a bit more context as to what's happening. Sam and Colby went on some podcasts and basically equated themselves to God because they claim to know the secrets of life after death through Cody and Satori, who have been confirmed to be fake. This has upset people a great deal and led to unnecessary, tragic drama.
They just, like, upset every single religion that has some
Exactly.
idea of an afterlife. They
Exactly.
Just completely, or any religion that has some idea of, like, a god.
Yeah.
They just, like, completely...
Not only that, but touching on religion, a lot of the stuff Sam and Colby do are actually kind of offensive to religion when you think about it. Because in some of their videos, they on purpose try to summon demons into their homes and stuff like that through these games.
We're going to put out the 6, 6, 6.
I don't want to get religious, but I can't help to feel that if you are truly a child of God, you will not be going around summoning demons on purpose. And I feel like that could offend a whole entire community. So I just want to throw that out there as well. Yeah. There's not much else to say on the matter besides what I've already said, so without further ado, let's bring out the board of shame. Which category do you think they'd go? They're not annoying to me, they're more controversial. That's like kind of the obvious choice, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to be the most controversial that we're going to be discussing today.
No, they're definitely not. They're up there.
Yeah. We'll put them on controversial.
Yeah. Now, this next influencer, I know a little bit about just because she's been going viral on TikTok. If you like receding hairlines, rainbows, and for some reason this influencer who has now taken a dark turn, you probably know who I'm talking about. We're going to be talking about JoJo Siwa next. Kat knows a lot more about JoJo Siwa than I do, so take it away.
I was a long-time Dance Moms enjoyer. I remember my mother used to watch it, and I would tune in and watch it along with her, and there was JoJo Siwa. Everyone rooted for her. She was kind of the underdog in the show from what I can remember.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone kind of wanted her to do her own thing. She had, like, spunk and pizzazz about her. But unfortunately, in her older age, she has now transitioned from a beloved child pop star who, in the eyes of a lot of people, was annoying. But to little girls, she was everything to them. Their idol, their, you know, the person that they looked up to.
Yeah.
And so now she's transitioned over into just this complete, you know, 180, which there's always like a growth period, and people grow and they change and they morph into something new. We saw it with Miley Cyrus, we saw it with Dove Cameron, we saw it with a lot of Disney Channel actors and actresses. Sabrina Carpenter, she's a really relevant person to kind of compare it to. But, you know, JoJo Siwa, whether or not it was a purposeful marketing campaign or not, she kind of just went off the deep end. And so if you're a big fan of the lesbian version of a rejected Kiss member...
What? I was not expecting that to come out of your mouth, Jason. That's a wild statement. Continue.
Did she not look like a lesbian version
Now
of
that
a
you
rejected
mention
Kiss
it,
member?
now that you mention it, yeah, I'm never gonna unsee that, so...
Anyway.
But yeah, she's recently taken a little bit of a dark turn. She's released her new song, Karma, and it's apparently a very emo type song. Not emo, but what I'm trying to say is she's taken off her pretty little rainbow bow and put on her dark, devious black bow. You know what I mean?
I was a bad girl. I did some bad things.
She became dark MAGA. That's not where it ends. We all know the karma phenomenon. We've all seen the video. So there was this idea that JoJo Siwa had stolen the song Karma from the singer Britt Smith. Well, what ended up actually happening was years and years and years ago, I say as if it was back in the fucking
1930s.
1930s. Britt Smith sang the song Karma, but JoJo Siwa's team bought the rights to the song from Britt Smith. And so I don't remember exactly if Britt Smith released the song or not. I cannot say.
She did.
Before JoJo Siwa.
Not before JoJo Siwa.
So Britt Smith did not release the song before JoJo Siwa and her team bought it. So technically, JoJo Siwa did not steal the song. She bought it, you know, fair and square, and then produced it. However, where she was wrong is that people were able to take the way she phrased it, and she made it seem like she had written the song, put the time and effort into the song, and all this stuff. When, yes, she probably did put effort into her cover, although that is,
questionable.
That's questionable. But, you know, there is this idea that she stole the song from Britt Smith. She did not. Now, in retaliation to this extreme change that JoJo Siwa had, and her kind of egregious music video, where she was seen doing provocative dance moves.
She looks like she's having a seizure.
She's well, then also, like, you know, the way she was dancing and like grinding on the other actresses in the video left a lot of people uncomfortable, especially since she had just kind of stopped making children's content.
She literally went from rainbows and unicorns to I'm gonna fuck this bitch.
And, you know, obviously, nothing wrong with being a lesbian, and a majority of people are okay with that.
I have lesbian friends.
Right. And so, you know, it's like not a problem. Her sexuality is not a problem, but unfortunately, she kind of just completely did a 180. Now, we kind of saw something similar with Miley Cyrus, but the difference with Miley Cyrus is that there was a big gap between her time as a child star being Hannah Montana into Miley Cyrus, like, you know, when she transitioned into a more adult kind of theme. Same thing with Sabrina Carpenter. She, you know, was on Girl Meets World, you know, some odd years ago, and she's now kind of resurfacing, at least gaining more traction now.
Yeah.
And she's doing a little more adult things, but they're tasteful and they're thought out. Now, Miley Cyrus was definitely a phenomenon, and at the time, people did speak about her very similarly to JoJo Siwa, but the problem is that JoJo Siwa, it's just so forced.
Yeah,
and it's
it is forced.
Doesn't she have a Tesla that now is like, it's wrapped to look, it's like she has a custom wrap on a Tesla Cybertruck now.
I'm pretty sure she does. Her Cybertruck has her name on it and possibly her face on it.
Right.
Which is the most vain thing you can possibly do, you know?
And so it's all obviously a publicity stunt, and people, including myself, and because we're talking about it, are feeding into it and giving JoJo Siwa's name the attention that she's desperately wanting. It's like a train wreck. You can't look away. She was then seen on her 21st birthday parading around Disney World, drunk. Yeah, it was just cringe at that point. And then she's released a new song that is very similar in taste to Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso song. I cannot talk about the lyrics in the song. They are sexual. Because we don't want to get
demonetized
by YouTube. But let's just say it's a sexual song in nature, which a lot of songs are, but, you know, it's explicitly sexual, once again, kind of pushing. It's like, she's like, I'm a lesbian, I'm a lesbian, I'm a lesbian. And she then also, right after Karma's release, was saying that she was almost not the inventor of gay pop, but like she was really pushing it forward, like almost like the CEO of gay pop, and there is a clip of her saying that.
Can I add something? She is letting everybody know so much that she's lesbian that she's putting a bad image on all lesbians at this point, and it's very genuinely sad to see. It's very sad to see. If you were gonna make that your personality, that's a shitty thing to do. Do not make your sexuality your personality. That is not what is supposed to be done. It makes you look like a very shitty person, and not a lot of people are gonna wanna be around you.
Right. And also, lesbians are fetishized enough in society. We don't need to keep pushing that more. Now, I'm all for people having pride, and I'm all for people kind of pushing for inclusivity, because we have a lot of heteronormative songs out there. We have a lot of hetero/straight songs out there that are very provocative and very vulgar, just as JoJo Siwa songs are. So it's kind of like a gray area, but honestly, I wouldn't say she's controversial. Honestly, I would just say it's annoying at this point, and I think that a lot of people are fed up with her. If you look at her most recent likes and view count, it's not matching up well, and it's just it's tanking a little bit. I think she kind of went back up with karma when it came to popularity. Maybe not good popularity, but she
It did gain popularity for sure.
And her bizarre behavior was like new and bold, and people were tuning in for that. But it's stale now. They're used to it, and they're moving on to the next thing. And I think that JoJo Siwa is falling back into obscurity again.
She's not influencing a generation like she used to. She's trying to influence an older generation, and it's not working, because look at the content she's been making for years and years and years since she was very little.
And so the only controversial thing about the JoJo Siwa thing would be her mother, because there's some speculation that her mother is kind of pulling the strings behind all this, but that is 100%.
It's speculation, and we're not going to dive into it more than that.
So it's not enough to put her under the controversial side, I don't think. It's just annoying.
It's just straight up annoying at this point.
I think that,
she's trying too hard, she's doing too much, and it's just gotten to the point where nobody's going to want to listen to it at some point in the future. Very near future might be.
All right.
This next influencer we're going to be talking about goes by the name of Nick Fuentes. Now, this is a man that I know nothing about, so Kat's going to have to take this one as well. But tell me about it. Who is this man? What has he done wrong?
I don't think there's a woman on the internet right now that doesn't know who Nick Fuentes is. Recently after the election, to stray away from politics, I'm just going to talk about the things that he has said.
Yeah, this is the closest we're going to get to politics, and it's not even that political. We're not going to go into any politics further than this.
He's relevant because he is technically an influencer and somebody who, is, he's out there and he's saying some stuff that's not good.
They say about America, they say, diversity is our strength.
How precisely is diversity our strength?
You gotta recognize the fact that this is a godless country. I hate it.
You're right. They're godless. That is exactly right. I never talk like that, but it's true.
Black people are violent.
I thought that it would be a good idea to discuss him today, especially since there has been something that has very recently happened with him, and we'll get to that in a second. Nick Fuentes became kind of infamous for comments that he made shortly after the election about women no longer had control of their bodies. And he would say, he coined the phrase that is now plaguing the internet, which is,
"Hey bitch, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again. Men win again. And yes, we control your body. Your body, our choice."
Your body, my choice.
That is a shit thing to say. Oh my God.
And so, trolling or not, unfortunately, there is a large impressionable audience out there, especially of young men. They latched onto that. And trolling or not, it was perpetuating this message of hate towards women, which we have been fighting so hard against in our society. But because of this behavior, he became extremely popular. Like I said, it's kind of like a train wreck. You can't look away from it. And so he got popular due to negativity, but albeit it doesn't really matter how he got popular, he is now popular.
Yep.
And so he now has a platform where he's going to continuously spread hate, and he did.
Here's the thing. Here's how the internet works for the longest of times, actually. If you get popular, whether it's for good reasons or bad reasons, you're gonna get up there at some point or another, and sometimes it's just the most unfair thing. There's so many people who do not deserve the fame that they have these days, and this is actually a perfect example of that, so.
Right.
What a shithead.
So, two of the more recent things that happened was a woman showed up on his front doorstep and she had a video camera, and he turned around and unfortunately decided to assault her by macing her.
Hi. Oh my God, what are you doing?
Get the fuck out of here.
Did he steal her phone too?
So basically, he pepper sprayed this woman who came up to his house, whether or not she was trying to harass him or, you know, get information on him or anything like that.
He did not even give her a chance. The second she knocked on that door, it was barely even open a crack. He had that pepper spray out and ready. This is a man that knows he's a dick, and you can tell by that video.
He knew what he had been doing online was wrong, and you can see in the video that after it ends, that he is latching the door like a bunch, like, and his lights are off, and it's latch, 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 latch. You can hear it in the video.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this very clearly lands Nick Fuentes under controversial.
I could not agree more. Again, I didn't know who this guy was, but now I'm actually kind of fuming.
Right.
There you go, Nick. You're where you deserve to be.
Well, he deserves to be in hell, but...
Yeah. Speaking of dicks, this next influencer we're gonna talk about probably has a really small one. That's right, we're talking about Jack Doherty. I've heard people say Doherty. I have no clue. I don't really give a shit.
It's irrelevant. He's irrelevant, but we're gonna discuss him anyway.
So, Jack Doherty is an influencer that started off with prank videos back in 2017. He has then gained a very big following of millions of followers. However, with that fame came a bunch of repercussions, and he is now not the man he used to be. Soon after gaining more popularity with his videos, he started going out and pranking people in public. Very rude pranks, kind of like shoving people around, getting into very heated arguments with people just to get a rise out of them. And when the people would lunge at him, he would get his very big, bulky bodyguard to stand up for him because he's a pussy and can't fight his own fights.
Jack Doherty gets jumped. We got out of there, motherfucker. Let's go. I didn't say any curse words. What'd I say? What'd I say?
You got a stupid shirt on over there.
Yeah. Your kids can't read, though. Your kids can't read, can they?
I'm seeing your kids watch.
Get away from me. You started talking to me, buddy.
Get away from me.
You get away from me. Watch your kids. Go walk away.
And it's just gone off the charts since then. That's not even anything compared to the next thing I'm going to talk about. So a little while ago, Jack Doherty decided it would be a really good idea to grab his good old cameraman, hop into his fancy old car, and absolutely speed down the highway in the rain while on his phone. That's a good idea.
Right.
He ended up getting into a very, very severe car accident. His cameraman was injured a lot worse than he was, and there's video evidence of this. I'm about to show it.
Oh, you're not going to show the...
No, not the full video. I don't think I even could. The ambulance arrived and the police came, and all he did was film his car. Didn't go along with his friend to the hospital, none of that. He just stayed behind and filmed his fucking car.
How? Break the fucking window! No, my fucking car, bro.
Vamos,
Oh. Fuck, dude. My fucking car. Holy shit, no. Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
And that just goes to show the kind of person he is. Not a very good one. And
you have to be some kind of evil to...
Yeah, again, that's not even annoying or controversial. That's straight up evil. That is a terrible thing to do. If you care about somebody, you will not abandon them like that after such a traumatizing experience. This wasn't just a little bump either. The whole front of his car is crushed like a damn soda can. But recently, he's been trying to redeem himself. He's been going around to places in Florida and giving people PS5s, $100 bills. Not joking, he straight up gave like a 3-year-old $100 bill.
I know you.
You know me? I got you. Here's $100.
The fact that he's allowed within 100 feet of kids is crazy.
It's funny because people are making him flop on purpose. It's actually become a trend to not like any of his videos, but give him a shit ton of views. So people know what they're doing. If you were one of those people who have done that to him, I love you.
You know, there's so much more to this Jack character, but honestly, it's just so upsetting and disturbing to talk about. And we have a lot more upsetting and disturbing things and people to talk about today. So I think it's best to kind of leave it as him being the guy who crashed the McLaren.
I can't talk about Jack Doherty for too long without wanting to murder the person next to me. Should that be you, I apologize. So we're gonna move on just to play it safe. So we're just gonna put his name on the board of shame and we're gonna move on before that happens.
On the board.
There he is in all his glory. Actually, there is none of that. I'm so sorry.
There is no glory, just shame.
Just shame.
All right, so this next one, unfortunately, is worse. You know, it stems further than just crashing a car and putting your friend's life at risk and, you know, flashing your money. This one stems to child abuse. These next few influencers that will be discussed will unfortunately be under the same kind of category. So if that is something that upsets you, there will be a timestamp in the video for when you can go ahead and skip forward. But the next person that we're going to be discussing is somebody that became very infamous online for quite some time, and her name is Ruby Frank. I don't know what you know about her.
I don't know the first thing about this Ruby Frank person.
Right.
Shoo. 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 You're not gonna mess with the camera. Sorry, y'all. We're gonna have to take a pussy break. Yeah, so tell me, who's Ruby Frank?
So basically, Ruby Frank was a vlogger who had gotten pretty viral for the way she would treat her children. Very strict, very mean.
Okay.
It was a family vlog channel. I don't want to go too far into it because it's honestly very disturbing and a lot of the videos we can't show. But long story short, the reason that she was caught was because her son wound up malnourished and sick and somehow had managed to go to the neighbors and expose what had been going on.
Oh.
She was arrested and was charged with 6 counts of child endangerment or something along those lines.
Ms. Frankie, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 6, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty.
Now, to be fair, this was back in 2023, so technically, Ruby Frank is not a 2024 influencer, but she is important to this segment because that then leads us into the following people that we will be discussing. She really kind of set the framework for these next people that we're going to be discussing. But before we do that, I think that to not dwell on her too much, we need to go ahead and put her on the board. But
are we going to reveal this special category right now?
I think we need to reveal the special category. So unfortunately, the special category is not something to be happy about. The special category is
Yeah, it is. We're putting these people there.
the special category is hell.
Yeah,
So
welcome to hell.
The people that wind up in this category are
the worst of the worst. They have done the worst things out of anybody in 2024 or in this exception 2023.
Let's go ahead and put her where she belongs.
All right, Ruby, you're where you belong, in hell.
So, kind of piggybacking off of that, that brings us to Nurse Hannah, who is one of the more recent ones.
I don't know a thing about Nurse Hannah.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's another
You know
child
what?
abuser.
You are not on abuse TikTok, which is good.
May I ask why you are on abuse TikTok?
I think that it's just because
Moving on. She doesn't have to answer. Moving on.
So Nurse Hannah was very recently, a video was put on her account of her and her husband and her son in Target, and then the husband goes to hand the son something, and the son is seen like cowering and covering his entire...
That's really sad.
It is.
This TikToker who goes by Nurse Hannah is being investigated after showing how she treats her kid. So Nurse Hannah, who originally went viral for not changing her kid's diaper and having 17 of them around her house, is now being called out by everyone for not feeding her kid or taking care of him. It started when people noticed that in many of her videos her son would be left hungry while she and her husband are always eating. Whenever he'd also try to reach for food, they would always shoo him away. But things got even worse when her son was seen flinching as a reaction to Hannah giving him something as if he was protecting himself. And when people tested this theory, they found out that Hannah's son was the only kid to react this way, confirming what everyone thought.
There's another video of her and her husband. They were eating, I don't remember exactly what. The child was in the back seat and she gave him a bite of the food and she was like, you know, that's all he's getting, that's his lunch, because when we get home it's nap time. And she said, I'm strict about nap time, things like that. And so the child is hungry. There's another video of the child saying that he was thirsty and that he wanted water, and she's sitting there and is drinking a huge soda, which looked like a Coke, and was basically kind of telling him no and that he needed to wait, and that, you know, she'd been working all day cleaning the house and that she deserves this and yada yada yada.
I'm getting really mad right now. I want to say something. Listen, if you're gonna have kids, you're gonna make them your priority. And nobody gives a shit how tired, how hard you work. When you get home from your job, your kid is still your priority. You better feed them first. You better give them water first. You better make sure everything is right with your kid. Because at the end of the day, everybody has jobs. Right. If you want to have a kid, that is a choice you made, not anybody else for you. You are gonna go home, take care of that kid, and not be a dick, okay? And I joke around a lot, but now I'm genuinely fucking pissed at this person. I hope you rot in hell for the rest of your afterlife. No mercy whatsoever. I hope Satan takes the biggest dildo he can find and shoves it straight up your ass.
Ooh,
I don't want to show more than we need to about this topic.
We don't need to give her more attention than she
deserves. She doesn't deserve any attention whatsoever, actually.
But, you know, here we are.
God, I'm tearing up now. I'm so sad.
Oh no. Yeah, so I think I know exactly where she's going on this board.
Yeah.
And it is right next to her predecessor.
If there was anything below hell, I would put her there without a second thought. This is just devastating to me.
I'm not even going to show the board up to the camera.
Don't even. She doesn't deserve her name to be shown. I had no idea who this woman was. I've never gotten so upset, so sad, so many emotions in one go. So enough of that headache. Next, we're going to be talking about one of the most shocking things that happened in 2024 having to do with Ava Tyson. If you don't know who Ava Tyson is, Ava Tyson was a very close friend and partner of Mr. Beast, working on their YouTube channel together. And if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, you're probably living under a rock, and I shouldn't have to explain who he is to you. Ava Tyson transitioned at the beginning of 2024, and later it was discovered that they were talking to minors inappropriately. Now, that is very terrible. It gets worse. Not only were they talking to minors inappropriately at the time, asking them sexual questions, but they had a kid of their own at the time. A little boy. He looked like he was maybe 3 or 4. I'll actually run a video for you right now. I don't know why I just stopped.
I'll run a video for you right now.
Oh my goodness, there's a dinosaur after me! Ah! Oh my gosh, it's gonna get me, somebody help! Ah!
I think that is truly disgusting. That is probably the most disgusting thing I've heard today.
It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing almost. Like, the way she was acting out in public was very, like, nice and at least public perception.
It was very deceiving.
Right. And
she deceived everybody.
Right, and posting, like, content of you and your child is very, you know.
Knowing that you're posting content about your child while you know you're doing this very inappropriate action, you have to be clinically insane. That's terrible. And a lot of people were saying Mr. Beast was involved with this. However, Mr. Beast, when he found out about Ava doing these things, he actually hired a private investigator to get dirt on Ava to try to send them away. He also completely banned Ava from the channel, blocked them on everything, and has not talked to them since.
Now, that doesn't mean that Mr. Beast is obviously free of his faults, but we're not talking about him.
It's people like Ava who are setting us backwards with acceptance for the LGBTQ community, and it's terrible. I want to move past this topic already. I hate this person, so let's just put her on the board of shame, get it over with. Let's Let's send Ava straight to hell. Everyone say bye-bye, Ava. We'll see you in hell. Now, the next influencer we're gonna be talking about is a musical menace. Colleen Ballinger. Now, I don't think I need to say much more about her. I think that her apology video is enough, so I'm just gonna play that for you and we're just gonna move on. Enjoy.
Hey, it's been a while since you saw my face. I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. So a lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though, just as long as it's entertaining to you. Right? You guys having fun? All aboard the toxic gossip train. You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station. Toxic gossip train. Tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past. Cause rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive in the crash. But hey, at least you're having fun. Hi everyone. I've been wanting to come online and talk to you about a few things. Even though my team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say, I recently realized that they never said that I couldn't sing what I want to say. So here I am, and today I only want to talk about the facts. So I hope that you'll be willing to listen. Here we go. Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way like a lot of you are trying to suggest. It was more of a loser kind of way, where I was just trying to be besties with everybody. It's kind of like when you go to like a family gathering, you know, and there's a weird aunt there who keeps coming up to you and going like, "Hey girl, what's the tea?" And you're like, ugh. That was me, but in group chats with my fans. It was weird. I've been sharing my life online for over 15 years. I've poured my heart out to you, and because of that I feel like I'm talking to my friends, but in the beginning of my career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there. There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird of me. I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability. But that's not very interesting, is it? So let's go on the toxic gossip train. The locomotive's fueled with hateful accusations. The toxic gossip train. Steamroll over someone's reputation. Toxic gossip train. Hop on board but close your eyes, otherwise you'll realize that the train is made of lies, and that person you despise maybe didn't deserve to die, but hey, at least you're having fun.
Did you enjoy that video? Do you understand why the allegations against her are so bad? Cool. We're also gonna send her to hell. Let's do it. Bye-bye, also in hell. We won't miss you.
I think we have filled up our hell category.
Yeah, I don't think we need to say much more about Colleen, so we're just gonna move on to Wolfie Klei. I'm not sure how many of you out there actually know who this guy is, but he's known for going around to different stores, laundromats, restaurants, and just completely making everybody around him miserable. Here's a pretty good example for you. He went to a store, took a bike chain, like a lock, tied it around the door handles of the entire store, not just one door, so nobody could leave the store. Another time, he straight up took a pigeon, like a dead pigeon on the street, walked into a McDonald's, walked behind the cash register, went to the deep fryer, and put it inside of the deep fryer. That is so disgusting and unsanitary. I don't trust McDonald's just for that reason. This other time recently, he went into a store. He had a bottle of Raid. If you don't know what Raid is, it's basically roach, an insect killer. Very, very toxic. You can't be drinking that shit. He walked into... I know, it sucks. It tastes so good. But he walked into the store, he took the wrapping off different packaged fruits and vegetables, and he just started spraying Raid all in them and then covered them back up. They caught him for that one, and he's actually about to face jail time for it, so I don't know how many years in jail he's gonna spend. I don't know any of that. They haven't released any details of it whatsoever. It's getting close to the end of the video. I'm tired, so I'm just gonna run a few clips of this asshole for you. No actual way. Hold on. Hold on. Do you guys know who that's from? It's from Wolfie Klei. As we're making these videos, he deleted all of his videos I saved to use for reference for this video. All of these grayed out deleted videos, that was Wolfie Klei. He deleted all of his videos right as we're making this video. That is wild. I have saved like 7 of his videos to use for reference for this video. They're all gone. I can't use them anymore. I'm not making this shit up. You saw it firsthand. Yeah, Wolfie, you're a piece of shit, so you're gonna go in the annoying category. I'm so sorry. Actually, what am I saying? I'm not sorry. You're a piece of shit. I just said it myself. That's where I'm gonna wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a very different topic for us to talk about, but I'm gonna be trying to go more into the commentary side of YouTube from now on. There's so much in the world that I wanna explore and talk about and understand, and you can only do so much with the paranormal and true crime like we've been doing in the past. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed Kat. She's new on the channel. If this video does good, you'll see her again, of course, even if it doesn't do good. Yeah, even if it doesn't do good, you'll still see her again because I had a blast tonight. Again, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe with your little tiny little fingers.
Your little paws.
Yeah, they're not furries.
But I'm a cat.
Are you a furry?
No!
All right, well, anyway, we're gonna end the video.
I'm not a furry!
We're gonna end the video here.